I recommend reading Galatians chapter 1. Paul talks about how he didn't receive anything except by revelation of Jesus Christ. And he also talks about in other places how everything that he had learned as a Pharisee, he counted as rubbish. It was just trash. It didn't matter that he was Jewish from the tribe of Benjamin, it didn't matter that he was a Pharisee. All that mattered was that Jesus chose him as an apostle and gave him revelation. And most of his revelation came while he was in the desert. So we've talked about deserts before. And this teaching is not necessarily for the apostles. This is for the church so that you can understand how the church government works. But revelation will often come to the apostles while they're in the desert, while they're having a hard time and they're choosing faith and they're choosing love and they're being tested to make sure that they will follow the Lord when they're given this great responsibility and this great authority. So the apostle right under Jesus will be like the final check for sound doctrine. So all apostles receive revelation to some extent or another, but only certain apostles will get it for the entire church. A lot of the apostles under the apostle that's under Jesus will be running with the revelation, the doctrine that's given to that particular apostle. There's other apostles too who will be like maybe over a nation or over several nations, maybe a continent or something like that, who will be receiving revelation for the church. But it'll still go up the chain, so to speak. I don't know how else to say that because the apostle is the servant of all. But because of their authority, it does have to go up to the highest apostle and make sure that all the revelation is checked by the Holy Spirit. Because this church, when it says in Ephesians 5 that the church will be without spot, wrinkle, or blemish, washed with the pure water of the word, clean, that means there's no lies, there's no deception, there's no factions or denominations. This church will walk in absolute unity and in total truth. So to do that, all the teaching has to be vetted by the Lord in the way the Lord sets it up.
Yeah, I think, just to think of this, the way Paul wrote it, I think is really good. Jesus is the chief cornerstone of this building, this church. And the apostles and prophets form the foundation. Everyone else builds on that foundation. And so the idea that there may be a handful or two hands, I don't know how many people building the foundation, and the rest will take what's been built and build upon that. That's the idea here. So,
right, and if you think about it, like Kirk said, we can't be everywhere at once. So the apostles under our authority will take what we're given and they'll bring it to those under their authority. And those people will bring it to those under their authority. And it will keep going till it's all spread throughout the whole church. And that's how it works.
Right. Yep.
So in Matthew 16, Jesus said to his disciples, "Who do people say the Son of Man is?" And they replied, "Some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, and still others Jeremiah or one of the prophets." "Well, but what about you?" Jesus asked. "Who do you say I am?" And Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." And Jesus replied, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by flesh and blood, but by my Father in heaven. And I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell will not overcome it." That was revelation that Peter received. And the revelation was that Jesus is the Son of God. And on the revelation of Jesus, the same revelation Peter received, that's what the church is built on, that Jesus is the revelation of Father to us. That's what the church is built on. So that's what the Lord was saying there. He wasn't saying the church is built on Peter as an individual. He is saying the apostles and prophets lay the foundation of the church. He said that in Ephesians 2 and in Ephesians, I think it was Ephesians 2, might be 3. But anyway, so the levels of revelation that an apostle receives will vary depending on their authority. Okay, so some get revelation for the whole church. Some will get it for just the churches under them. Revelation from the lower level apostles will be built on the foundation already built by those in a higher authority. So like we said, there won't be that many that get it for the whole church, but it will be vetted through them.
Welcome to Destiny Road, where we're committed to making a real difference in the fight against human trafficking. We proudly partner with organizations that rescue survivors and provide them with dignified employment opportunities, and also support these brave individuals on their journey to healing.
Our curated collection features crafted items from around the world. Handmade jewelry, leather purses, bags, coffee and tea. We also offer books by authors Tiffany and Kirk. You can find their books through Amazon by searching for Tiffany Root.
Thank you for joining us in this important mission. Visit us online at destinyroadstore.com.